Yes, indeed. Here we are once again. I don't know what this is, like a superhero side light glow something. Feels really quirky, but I like it. I'm Chase Steele Greye. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Daily Huddle for Health and Wellness Wednesdays. If you've never been here before, today is the day that changes your life because you'll find out about this amazing group of people that come here and speak about things that are just, I think it's amazing, right? We got health, we got wellness, we have spirituality, we have business, professional, we have all kinds of stuff. So if you're here every day, you're going to get a piece of that. We start at 9 a.m. every day. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we get started today, I want to tell you a little bit about our guest. She's been here before, and she always has a lot of great stuff to say. And I'm going to tell you a bit about her. Kathleen Graffunder is a business mindset purpose coach with a background in holistic nutrition, healing communication, and has been coaching for over 15 years. A dedicated truth seeker and explorer of the mind, cognition, and behavior, she is a Renaissance woman who brings her intensive and widely varied experience, knowledge, and teaching to help elevate her clients' awareness and engage with their true life purpose so that they can live their most authentic, joyous, and liberated life. And on top of that, Kathleen is literally my longest running friend in my life that I've stayed in communication with since I've been 18. Just so you know that, okay? It's a really coveted position in my mind because connection is real. Grand Rising, Kathleen Graffunder, welcome to the Daily Huddle.
Thank you, darling.
I don't know where that came. I don't know what that voice was.
Thank
Go
you
ahead.
very much. That was a little bit
I don't
Dracula.
know. My light today, the voice. I don't know who I am today. I'm just working with it. So,
So,
oh,
um,
I was going to have you open it up, but I know that you know the topic because you're here. But break open this human design for us because these two words together, human design, if we take them separately, we can go in many directions. But putting them together, this enters you
yeah,
today. What do we need to
there
know about
there are a lot of um, initial perceptions when somebody mentions human design. So I know that our time is limited here. So I want to be as concise as possible, and I'm really hoping to give people an idea of what this body of work is.
correct?
It's a very complex body of work, but here's a basic description. Um, Human design is a science ahead of its time, combining ancient and contemporary modalities, including astrology, the I Ching, Kabbalah, the chakras, quantum physics, genetics, and biochemistry to produce a map of your personal energetics.
Quite the kaleidoscope of
Yeah.
things.
So, as I said, it's a complex body of work, but because we are talking about health and wellness today, um, what I'm going to do is if you can share the screen or allow me to share my screen, I'll bring up my own chart, I'll bring up your chart, and just give a couple of examples of where to find this in one's own chart. I've put in the chat humandesignamerica.com. You can go there and download your own chart.
Mhm.
It's free. If you want a more detailed chart, I have resources for you to do that because there's a lot more information there. Um, but just a little bit of background. So, human design was downloaded over 8 days and 8 nights by a guy called Ra Uru Hu. And this was, I think it was 1987. And um, including all of the things that I just mentioned, it basically gives you a a a picture of your circuit board that represents your body. And when I bring up the pictures, it'll make more sense. But um, in the simplest sense, it shows you how to align to your design and to align with your life purpose. And most of us, I would I would say, um, all of us to a point are conditioned either by family, society, um, could even be ancestral ties. So um, the part of what human design is about is getting through the deconditioning and really aligning with exactly who you are and the best way for you to express your being here in this lifetime.
I want to ask you one question that actually came up while you were talking.
Yeah,
Great,
go ahead.
great description, by the way. We are talking about human design in the adult portion of our life. Hypothetically speaking, right? We are here right now. We're talking about it right now, right?
Yeah,
Hypothetically speaking, if someone was born and in the first week someone did their human design chart, do you think they could sway them, or the parents of this child could be like, this is who you're meant to be. This is what we're going to mold you to be without anything happening.
I wouldn't say the look, the parents have their own conditioning.
Right,
Um we come into the world, what happens, and you'll see this again when I pull up the images, but there's a part of our design that is the personality side, and
right,
that has to do with the day that we took our first breath.
right,
The other side is the design side, which has to do with the body,
right.
and that came into being 88 days before the day that we took our first breath.
Wow. 88
So
days.
yeah, so if parents are aware of the human design of their child, I did this for my cousin Abby when she had her baby a few years ago.
Wow.
So if the parents are aware of the child's design, they can certainly um, they can certainly influence the way that the child grows up.
Yeah.
But that child comes into the world, takes its first breath with the design already in place.
Interesting.
So, um,
That's what fascinates me about this. But go ahead, finish what you're saying because I'm working that out in my mind. It's very interesting.
well, parents can always sway their children in one way or another.
Right.
Um, a lot of that is choices, a lot of it is unconscious. And
Correct.
so this is another level of awareness that um, can be really helpful in raising children, even if you have adult children, even if you are dealing with parents that are of another generation. Knowing this information can help you see we are all unique. We all have our own design. We all um, have certain gifts and propensities that are are going to come out one way or another.
Right.
But the more you're aware of, the better you can align to your design, and the more smoothly life is going to go.
That's what fascinates me about it. But I want you to get into the nuts and bolts of it because I find it interesting that it crosses all of these things, right? The astrology,
Yeah.
the I Ching, the Kabbalah. I think it's interesting that it takes all of those things together when you have people just separately concentrating on one thing or the other. That's what fascinates me.
Right. And so um I have myself trained in the Akashic Records, which is divine purpose, numerology, traditional Chinese medicine, energy healing, Ayurveda, yoga. I have done a lot of things. And when I learned about human design and started studying it, it kind of put all the pieces of the puzzle together for
Right,
me.
right.
Because it does bring so many um, traditions together. And
So,
that's why it's such a complex body of work. But
right, right, got it.
um, I think maybe it'll be helpful if I bring up my chart and I can show people what it looks like and what we're actually talking about.
Right.
Um,
I think you can share from the main screen. Lizette, let me know if it's okay for her to share her screen and how we can do that. I
okay.
think there's an arrow there. Okay. She's going
Okay.
to make it possible for you to
Yep. Okay. So let's see here.
believe it's on the bottom.
Yeah, hold on. I'm
There we go.
make sure trying to make sure that I'm sharing
There we go.
the right piece of my screen. Okay. So um
This is so great. I love this.
somebody's in the waiting room. Did you get that? I just got a notification.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So as I was saying, if you if you go to the website that is in the chat there, what you're going to see is a chart that looks like this. If you're not able to get your chart there, you can Google free human design chart. And there are several sites that will give you a human design chart. But they're all going to look something like this. So, what I mentioned before, on the right side, these are all planetary symbols. The main thing that we're going to focus on today, I don't know if you can see my little arrow moving around here.
Yes.
Haven't mastered the
Oh, we can see it.
writing on the screen yet, but anyway. Um, so on the personality side, this is the conscious side. You can think of it as the mind. And believe it or not, we are really not meant to make decisions through the mind or by the mind. The personality side of your human design is meant to use the mind to express your purpose into the world. So it is to connect with other. Okay. And this has to do with your um, astrological sign, basically, where all of these planets were in position when we took our first breath. The design side is more what we call the unconscious side, which is um, it has to do with the body. So this is where I was saying to Chase a minute ago, and to all of you, that this is where what they call the soul crystal comes in and actually designs your physiological body 88 days before you come out of the womb. So um, they call it the unconscious side because it's not a mind, but it has a huge influence on all the decisions that we make and um, the more that we can tune into the body and recognize what's going on there, um, the the easier we can align and express our true purpose into the world from the personality side, from the mind, from the communication side of our constitution. Does
So
that
if
make
I may,
sense? Does that make
if
sense?
I may for 1 second, I mean, I get what you're saying. I know this is a really deep dive, a quick dive into something really deep, but I'm looking at this and you're talking about conscious and subconscious, and then the symbols on either side. Once someone goes and does a deep dive, obviously there's a chart that tells you what each one of those symbols mean. My question is these numbers, 63.1 and such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
What's the basic definition of those numbers? What are we talking about?
Okay. So I will get to that. And one of the, okay, now I lost my, there's something going on here. I'm just getting a green screen. Well, there's your chart, darling.
Ah, chart.
Why is this?
Maybe you need to click out of it and come back again.
Um,
Sometimes.
yeah. Oh, well,
There you go.
come on back. Okay, I don't know why that happened. Um, okay. So when you get your chart, your free chart, these numbers, the numbers before the decimal point, oh my God, why did it do that again?
The love of my screen has entered your screen.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but um, okay, I'll wait for it to come back. But just so you guys know, we'll look at Chase's chart. Oh, my screen sharing is paused. It says.
Oh, I don't know what happened, how that happened. Is that something happened on Kathy's side, or do we know? Hmm. Interesting.
Okay,
All right.
so
You
you
could.
you can't see my screen anymore?
It's just red, but you can continue to explain what you meant about the numbers.
Okay, so what we're actually looking at. All right, let me see if we can do this again. And now I've lost my own body graph. Well, we'll look at Chase's. So I'm going to try to share again. There we go. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay. All right. So the main thing that we're going to talk about in the next few minutes is this circle with the dot in it is the sun. The circle with the cross in it is the earth. We've got all the other planets here, all the other planets here. So this is significant of where the planets were in the universe before you were born and when you were born. Um, the numbers, if you look at the body graph, like I said, this is kind of a circuit board. That's kind of a rudimentary way of describing it, but okay, now I've lost it again. But anyway, the numbers have to do with what they call the gates, which relate to there are 64 gates, and I have a handout that I can share with you guys about this that's kind of a cheat sheet on all the gates.
Right.
But the the 64 gates are connected to our 64 DNA codons.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's where the genetics piece comes in. All right, I'm going to try to share again.
Try one more time, and if not, you can just go through and just say what you got to say. Because once people go to the free thing, they'll have a beginning anyway of what you said.
Right. It's easier if people can actually see.
I agree totally.
So, um, so these are gates. Each gate has a certain significance where the number of the gate, if you will, where it shows up in your chart, planetary wise, has a certain significance. And in for this purpose, for the topic of the day, it's important to know that on the personality side, as I said, this is how you use the mind to express your purpose into the world. On the design side, when we're talking about health and wellness, it's here, the design sun. That is the thing that keeps you healthy. So, in your case, Chase, um,
On the spot. On the spot.
yeah, I wrote this down. Where the heck is it? Okay, so you have also, if when you get your design chart, you're gonna see incarnation cross. That is your life purpose. There is a lot more to it than just like, oh, read this little paragraph and that's your life purpose. But what this is kind of like a compass. So Chase's incarnation cross is the right angle cross of service,
What could that be?
which means people with a logical understanding of what it means to be human, moved by dissatisfaction, to focus on correcting, reorganizing, and serving humanity. So, if any of you know Chase at all,
Uh-oh.
you know that that is a pretty good description of who and how he is. Now, the other the other piece of this is, oh, wow, that's nice. Did anybody else see that?
Yeah. It just got exciting.
Wow. Okay, so whatever's messing up the screen share, somebody needs to stop it. But anyway,
I came into the room just now. I don't know who that was, but
yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
Zoom bomb. Okay, so right angle cross of service. So the other thing that's interesting to note here is that um we each of us has a profile. So the profiles are um generator, manifesting generator, manifester, projector, and reflector. Each one of those um, types has an um, has an imbalance, an off balance situation. So, for example, Chase is a generator, which means that he is going to always be doing something. He knows when he needs to rest, but he's always going to be doing something. Generators go, 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 and go through the process. Manifesting generators, which is what I am, can skip steps, but generators generally don't do well doing that. But manifesting generators can skip steps and go, oh, okay, I see this is going from here to there. They tend to manifest quickly. It all takes action, but it takes correct action. Anyway, so on I'm going to try one more time
Maybe,
because I
maybe
want.
we shouldn't go to that. Maybe that's the portal to that person coming in. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened,
that's
but
kind of a bummer.
this has happened before, actually, in another way. So
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So when you get your chart, um, it'll give you your incarnation cross. It'll give you the gates that are related to your incarnation cross. Your incarnation cross is your life purpose. But what you want to focus on when we're talking about health and wellness, and I know it took us a while to get around to it, but the how do we find out if we're a generator or not? Go get your free chart, Molly. Um,
we have it in the chat, right? We're good. They can click on that.
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Every free chart tells you what your type is. So, um okay, for me, awesome. Thank you, Lizette. Um for me, my no, that's why I'm here. Sorry, Molly. I we're gonna do another session on this. So but there's a lot of information that you can find online as well. So for me, for example, my what you want to look for on the design side, design sun, the circle with the dot in it, is what is going to keep up your health and your vitality, body and mind. I mean, the design side is the body, but we're not just talking about physical health and what you eat um and that. What it means is being aligned with how you consume, and it can be consuming information, food, environment. So there are many different aspects to this. But to give you an example, my design, um, where is it? Shoot, my design sun. The the brief description is incompletion, doubt, mental flexibility. So if this is new to you, you have to take into consideration that a lot of the terminology may seem triggering, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. So in confusion or in completion, doubt, for me, and in my health and wellness arena, that means when I've completed, when I've accomplished a thing, a task, a goal, whatever, what it means is afterwards, because my design is how it is, I am analyzing and going, oh, okay, that was great. How can I make it better next time? Or how can I make it better when I bring it to one of my clients? Or how can I make it better for other people that I share this with? I wrote this down for Chase too.
Oh, Jake,
Chase's, Chasenum, Chase's is 58-6, the joyous,
joy,
aliveness,
aliveness.
the fuel to play and celebrate life.
Yes.
So for Chase, the thing that keeps him healthy in body, mind, and spirit is exactly that, to play and celebrate life.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And what's funny is you and I share a lot of gates. They're just not in the same place, but that's a different conversation.
Different conversation. Let
But
me chime in one.
I know we're coming on time, so I don't want to go on and on, but I do want to share the documents with people, and I'm not sure how to do it. So
Can you do it the same way the other one came up? Do you have the link? Can you pop it in there before we do an outro?
not it's not a link, it's something that's on my drive.
Okay.
So
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you back because I want you to go through everything you had to go through, and we'll do that next week. Hopefully you're available. That would be amazing. I know there's questions. Unfortunately, because of the time, we have to pull away and do our outro. But
yes.
I really appreciate you being here. I know I have questions. I know people have questions. So let's do a double episode and let's come back next week. We'll finish it. We'll get right in. We'll figure out what the glitches were.
Is it okay if I just put my email address
Sure.
in here?
Let's do that.
And that way, if people want the documents, if they want to
Do that.
check
Yeah,
in.
that'll be
Okay,
amazing.
I'll do that. I'll do that real quick.
Do that, and then we'll be ahead of it. So everybody, please take this email down, and then you can get the information from her. She'll send it to you, and then next week we'll come back again and we'll deep dive into it. By then, everyone will have had a time to kind of get inside of the information. I think it'll be great. Obviously, you can study this stuff for a while, even in 2 sessions. We're not going to get through all of it, but I always
No,
thought it was a very good topic. So you're good. You got that on there. We're good.
I got the email in there.
Perfect. So everyone take that. It's catgraphconsulting at gmail.com. Is there an underscore?
No, it's a dot.
Oh, catgraph
Catgraph dot.
dot consulting at gmail. Email her right away if you want to get this. Um, Thank you so much for being patient, everyone. That little glitch was very strange.
Yeah.
But this is what live does, right? We do it because it's live and we're here and we're engaged. Um, Please join us again next week. But before we go, I want to let you know that these tenets follow us every day of our lives. So I want you to know about them. Please live out loud more than you have yesterday, more than you did the day before. Love harder because we need so much love right now. Move the body. Moving the body will always, always be advantageous. Trust me when I tell you. Give of yourself, give some things away, clear the space out so you can see your magnificent life. I'm telling you, it'll do you no harm. Also, eat mostly plant based because the plants, well, the plants have all the answers. If you go outside and watch the plants, you'll be like, oh, that's how I want to do things. Trust me, right? So eat mostly plant based if you can. Also, remember to stress less because there's enough stress in the world. We don't need any more of that. Stress less. Take some away. Take some out of the stress club. Do you no harm. Sleep. Sleep more than you think you should. Tonight, just challenge yourself. Sleep 7 hours if you slept 4. Sleep 8 if you slept 6. Just give yourself something, a little cushion to move ahead. And always, always remember to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Thank you, Kathy. I'll see you next week. Everyone
Yeah.
else have a spectacular week and a spectacular day on purpose. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.